Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this Blitz chess postmortem video. This is a video of my Blitz chess game number 88 where I played black here against the English opening. So let's check it out. My opponent started with knight f3, which could be a number of different openings. So I played knight f6, the most common response, just sort of waiting around to see what white is going to do. So now he can play d4, c4, or g3 even, go into a fianchetto setup. But he went c4, so now this is an English opening, and I choose an unusual response, I guess. Maybe if I want a King's Indian setup, g6 is the normal way to get there. And if I want something like a Nimzo Indian, I can play e6 here, or c5 to get into a symmetrical setup. So those are probably the main ways to play. And he plays g3 here instead of, he could have gone d4 right away, which is what I was sort of expecting. I've seen that response before. So we get into a setup where both sides have fianchettoed, and white could have still played d4 here, but he's avoiding that. Wants to stay with this English setup, and I should probably just castle here. I avoided castling for a few moves, if I had castled here, we would have been back into fairly common opening position. This is sort of a reverse Sicilian with a closed version because he's never played the move d4 here. But I played bishop e6 here, thinking I was threatening the pawn. He played rook b1, and I had to think, okay, let's go back to the notation tab. We're out of the book. But there's a trick here. If I take the pawn, then the queen here check. And yeah, if I block the check with the knight, the bishop is hanging. It's not defended there. So I didn't fall for that. I castled. And the computer thinks this game was fairly even all through these parts. So we're all just kind of developing slowly, maneuvering our pieces. And I was a little worried about my queen being exposed over here, but it turned out to not be an issue. And even this move, which I thought was a little bit suspicious, the computer thought was okay. And after this win of a pawn, even here, the engine still thinks the position is roughly even. It gives a slight edge to white, but no more than the usual opening advantage. So I guess I have some pressure against white in exchange for the pawn. So he has to defend. And now here's a mistake of sorts. Not a huge blunder, but not the correct decision. The computer thinks I should just play another strengthening move like h6, or an attacking move like bishop to h6, putting pressure on the knight there, which is it's not really pinned, but it's under attack, and one more attacker would force it to move, I think, or be defended. What I did was I sacked the exchange here because I thought this bishop here was kind of annoying. So maybe that was a bit unnecessary. And now white has a noticeable advantage, but he plays a couple moves here. Oh yeah, this move here actually gives away his advantage, and now the game is once again about even. So I'm down the exchange, but I have a pawn for the exchange, and I have the bishop pair, which is usually enough compensation. So this position is still okay. And the bigger factor along here turns out to be time. I just start running low on time around here and not making the best decisions. So right here, so there were no big blunders, I was going to say, up until this point. But right here, this is not the best move, this exchange of rooks. The computer's recommending rook to d5 here. And if white wants to exchange, then I get a nice pawn here, and that extends the scope of this bishop somewhat, and should be fine. When I exchange, it just brings his rook to the d file, so that's a mistake. And then when I play this move bishop g5, this is an outright blunder. So what's white's move here? This is your tactical quiz. White's turn to move, and black just blundered. So what was that? What was that mistake all about? Okay, if you want some time to think about it, pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and give away the answer now. The right move for white here is knight to d6. So now the queen, notice the queen and the knight are ganging up on that pawn, and it's pinned. I can't just move it out of the way. It's pinned by the queen. and it's under defended, and there's no piece that can get over there to defend it. the computer actually recommends playing bishop to e8 as the best move, and then of course white is just a piece up. So, but anyway, the threat of the queen coming in here is too devastating, and the bishop is blocking my queen's path back to where I can defend. So that would have been pretty much game over right there, knight d6. Instead, my opponent played h4, attacking my bishop. I come back to this square, and now I'm defending against knight d6. So I'm okay for the moment. And then, having blundered, my opponent now makes a blunder here, and now it's black's turn to play a move. So black's turn to move. What's the best move here for black? It's not a winning move, but it allows black to equalize from a position where he's in some amount of trouble. Okay, if you haven't got it yet, pause the video and think about it. It's a tactic you should be able to see. So it's worth pausing the video and trying to puzzle it out. I'm going to give the answer away. The answer is bishop takes. Bishop takes a4. And of course that hits the queen. And if the queen takes the bishop, then you pick up the knight. And now he can come in here with check, but you have the bishop here. And if the rook comes in, it looks dangerous, but it turns out the queen can defend by going to this square. Here, so I'll show you what I mean. Here, check. I don't want to lose the bishop, so I go here, rook here, threatening to win the bishop, and I can defend from this square or that square. So it turns out black can hold this, and now I've got two pawns for the exchange, and these pawns are dangerous, and black may even be slightly better here. So, but basically about even. So I missed that idea. After knight e3, I played king g7. I'd been worried about this pin for some time. I finally saw the opportunity to unpin, and game continues for a few more moves. But what happens here is I just run out of time. And white is better, but he's not. It's not necessarily a winning advantage. And even in this ending position, what the computer says is I should try queen takes, pawn takes, and bishop to c5. And it's this bishop c5 idea I didn't really notice. What I was worried about after the exchange of queens was the rook coming in here, checking my king. I can't defend with the bishop because it would go to that square and it would just get taken. And so I'm going to lose a pawn over here, and he starts mopping up. But after he takes back, I have this bishop c5 move, keeps the rook from getting in. And maybe I have enough time to come over here and stop this pawn from queening. If he pushes right away, I guess I can take it, and then the bishop guards that square on c7 where the rook might penetrate. So this is slightly better for white still, but maybe not enough to win. This is a position I might be able to play on for a draw. But anyway, I ran out of time and lost. So that's the way it goes. So anyway, the lesson there is to try and stay alert all the way through the game. We played a pretty good game up to about move 30, and then had a pair of mutual blunders. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and I'll see you again later. Bye.